All right, so big fights coming up this Saturday. Um, or sorry, I should say a big fight coming up this Saturday. I'm not gonna go into the main event for this fight card, just because that's not for me. That's not the most interesting fight. The most interesting fight on this card is gonna be Khabib Nurmagomedov. I butchered his name versus Edson Barboza. So this fight is most likely going to be for, I want to say, the number one contender, since Tony Ferguson is the interim champion. Conor is still the current champion. So I mean, I would say Tony Ferguson is the number one contender, but assuming that he is a champion, we'll say that the winner of this fight is probably going to fight Tony Ferguson in like a title eliminator, or Tony Ferguson's going to fight Conor, and the winner of this fight is going to fight the winner of Conor and Tony. But either way, there's big title implications for the winner of this fight. So let's go into it. We have Khabib and Edson. They're going to meet this Saturday, and I just want to say that this fight is very difficult for me to call. When I was thinking about this, I'm like, I'm going over their ways to win, and it's not easy to pick a clear-cut victor. I can see Khabib, taking Edson down, controlling him, and beating him up for, 3 rounds. I could definitely see that, but I could also see Edson Barboza just, landing something out of nowhere and knocking Khabib out, like he's done countless times, like he did to Beneil Dariush, like he did to Terry Edom. And let's not forget the vicious leg kicks that he has. He's very fast. He hits hard as fuck, you know. So Edson Barboza can finish this fight in many different ways. Where Khabib, his really his only game plan is to get a hold of you and drag you down, and he needs to be very careful of how he does that. I mean, when you saw that the knee he landed on Beneil Dariush, I mean that was incredible, because Beneil even he threw a jab in front of that takedown, to try to disguise it, and Edson still saw it coming and just landed a vicious knee on his chin. So Khabib needs to be very careful. From what I've been seeing online, a lot of people think Khabib is just gonna steamroll him, and they feel like he's just the uncrowned champion. But I think he's gonna have his hands full with Edson. I could see Edson, moving really well, staying on the outside, ripping his leg kicks. If he starts landing some nasty leg kicks, that's gonna mess with Khabib's movement, and he can easily knock Khabib out. Khabib cannot stand with Edson, so Khabib needs to be very careful. So that's how Edson can win this fight, is to start throwing a lot of leg kicks, just be very explosive, and just kind of like put the fear in Khabib, make him hesitant to shoot, make him hesitant to come in. Now, Khabib's key to victories here is he needs to pressure. He needs to put Edson Barboza on his back leg. You know, Almost all the fights where you see Edson Barboza struggle is when he's getting pushed back. When he fought Tony Ferguson, you saw Tony Ferguson go in there and just push a hell of a pace, just going in there wild. They fight a little bit differently. I would say Khabib and Tony, they're both very aggressive fighters, but their skill set's different at the end of the day. Tony Ferguson, I think, is more dangerous because he's more versatile. He's gonna throw knees, kicks, takedowns, elbows, flying knees, and submissions from nowhere, try to snap you down and just lock up darces and stuff. Where Khabib is more, I guess you could say, fundamental. Or maybe that's not the best word. I would say he's, let's just say, not as flashy. You kind of know what he's gonna do, but you can't stop it. Whereas like Tony Ferguson, you don't know what he's gonna do. He does a lot of weird shit. He improvises. He's a very unique guy. So I think if Khabib wants to be successful in this fight, he's going to really need to push Edson Barboza backwards. Keep him on the back leg, because what that will do is, at least if he's constantly pushing forward, Barboza's not going to be able to throw kicks as effectively. It's hard to throw good, solid leg kicks when you're getting pushed back. So that will help with that. But also, I think Khabib, and I'm just basing this on the Beneil Dariush fight because that knee was just incredible. I think Khabib should do his takedowns with clinch work. I don't think he should shoot in from the outside. I think that's very risky. I think he should get in like an upper body tie and try to push Edson against the fence and take him down like from the fence. I think it's very risky for him to just shoot a double leg on the outside. Especially, Edson's been training for that. Cuz Edson and his coaches, he knows that Khabib's going to go in there and try to put him on the mat. You know? Like everyone knows that. So I'm sure he has some stuff planned, some flying knees planned, a lot of leg kicks planned, just to be ready for that shot. So I think if Khabib really wants to be successful with the takedowns, I think he should look to be aggressive with his punches and push him back, and then try to get a clinch right away. More specifically on the upper body, and then when you can push him to the fence, then you could start to go down on single legs and double legs and take him down against the fence. But yeah, man, this is a one hell of a fight. I am so excited for this fight. I, in my opinion, this is a toss up. I would not be shocked if Khabib wins, and I wouldn't be shocked if Barboza wins. They're both incredible fighters, and I personally, I would like to see Khabib win because I want to know where he stands in the division. We've seen Edson Barboza, and he's had some tough losses. He lost to Jamie Varner, he lost to Michael Johnson, he lost to Tony Ferguson, and he lost to, who else did he lose to? He lost those three. He definitely lost one more, but I don't know if it was in the UFC or outside the UFC. I don't know why I'm having trouble thinking about this right now. I don't know. It'll come back to me. But, Khabib, he was supposed to fight Tony Ferguson, but he lost to Tiramisu. So, he's not undefeated. He lost one fight there. But, yeah, I would love to see Khabib win. I want to know where he really stands in that division. I was super bummed out when he couldn't make it to the Tony Ferguson fight. So, hopefully, he makes weight in this fight, and we can see him just in the mix. He's been out for a while, been in the active. His last fight was against Michael Johnson. So we'll see. But if I have to give a prediction, so if someone had a gun to my head and I had to give a prediction, let's think about this. It's 3 rounds. It's not 5 rounds. So I think the shorter rounds is going to favor Edson, because Edson's a guy who kind of fades because he's very explosive. So I think that's beneficial. Khabib never gets tired in his fights. He's a monster. So I think the shorter rounds would favor Edson. I think striking favor Edson. Wrestling favor Khabib's. Wrestling favors Khabib. Strength, I don't know. Edson's very explosive. I think Khabib's probably stronger, but I don't know if he's necessarily quicker. So, but you don't really need to be quick if you're in the clinch and you have someone tied up. You just have to be strong there. Speed is going to play more of a factor on the outside when you're not, in close quarters and you're not grappling, and that's more like strength, and especially isometric strength. But if I had to pick, I will go with Edson Barboza by TKO in this fight. But like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Khabib wins. So don't talk shit if my pick is wrong. But I'm going with Edson Barboza, probably by a second or third round TKO. Or maybe a first round even. I don't know. And I don't know if this is right, but looking at the stats, it says that Edson has a 5-inch reach. If that is correct, that's very huge for him, and that's definitely, that could definitely be a factor in this fight. So we'll see if that helps him. But yeah, I'm going with Edson Barboza by second or third round TKO. All right, guys, if you want to hear more predictions, if you like what I'm doing with this channel, please subscribe. So some of my plans for this channel is I'm going to get my camera soon so I can stop with just the screenshotting and stuff, and I could actually start having some visual diagrams. I think that will help in terms of how you guys view this, make it more, I guess, aesthetically pleasing or something, even though I'm not the most aesthetically looking guy. But you know what I mean. It's just good to see a visual. I don't know. For me, like when I listen to podcasts like Joe Rogan's or Fighter and the Kid or any podcast really, I don't know why, but even though I'm just hearing like when I just listen to vocals, it doesn't feel as good as when I see them sitting down and talking and I see facial expressions and all that stuff too. So yeah, when I get my camera set up, I'm gonna do that. And really, where I want this channel to grow is just I just want to be more active. I want to break down fights for you guys. You know, MMA is my favorite sport. It's a sport I know most about. I really don't give a fuck about football, you know, since that's going on right now. But yeah, I plan on just breaking fights down, giving predictions, doing recaps, analysis. So I do train myself. I am a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, compete as well. So, you know, and I just been following the sport for a long time. So there's certain patterns and movements that you see. So I would love to break that down for you guys. And yeah, I mean, I'll go into more detail as I start to put out more content. But for now, I'm just gonna start doing breakdowns, reviews, recaps. All that good stuff. So thank you guys for listening. Merry Christmas. Have a great night.